Hello, everyone. Welcome to our final Chartres community call before we make our annual pilgrimage this year to Teotihuacan, just outside Mexico City, to consecrate the solstice in June. Before we begin our program, I just want to extend the warmest love and blessings and appreciations and everything good in the world to Mother's Day and all the mothers out there, and the Great Mother and the Black Madonna and Maria, Ave Maria. And this is a day where the sacred feminine, it's all its forms, is appreciated and revered. So I just want to begin the program by saying Happy Mother's Day. I know there will be festivities for many of you, so we'll try to keep this program very short. But the purpose of this program, as it has been for about 20 years at this time, when we come to our last community call before our pilgrimage, is really to summarize what we're going to be doing there and answer any questions that you may have. We know that this is the first time at Teotihuacan. We're not going to Chartres because the Olympics will be happening right at the same time that we would have usually gone to Chartres, including in Chartres. So there's an extraordinary opportunity that just emerged very organically and naturally, that was accentuated, as you all know, when the Kogi released what they called their final warning, their final prophecy to the human race last December, right before the winter solstice of 2023, saying that we are now entering a time of reckoning. So as you know, we have been discussing with the Kogi that they would come to Teotihuacan and be with us during that week, be present in whatever way they choose on the solstice day as we gather around the pilgrimage of the sun. So this week is not only an important week for our own personal pilgrimage, which is an essential part of everyone's spiritual pathway, to make a spiritual journey from wherever it is you are to wherever it is that you want to deepen your alignment and understanding of the sacred, and thereby become empowered, and then to return home transformed. And I just have this feeling that on this occasion, in light of the Kogi prophecy, which has a major milestone on the summer solstice, that we will be doing something not only personal, but also historic. So we're going to dive right in. Heather Ash, who is the founder of the Pyramid Academy, and has been going to Teotihuacan like I have, and Banafshe and others have been going to Chartres, who's really going to be our faculty leader for the event there. She's going to just walk us through what we can expect from the time we arrive to the end of the 7 days, because we're going to keep the same schedule of arriving and a start on Sunday, the 16th, and then leaving on Saturday, the 22nd. So Heather Ash, talk to us. And again, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat and we'll get to them as soon as Heather Ash is finished. Thank you, everyone. Welcome. Happy Mother's Day. Heather Ash, it's all yours.
Thanks so much, Jim, and happy Mother's Day to everyone, and blessings. I am just thrilled. Now it feels more real, right? So for those of you that are joining us, I want you to remember that the moment that you said yes, the pilgrimage started. For those of you that can't be there in physical body, if you want to join us energetically, all you have to do is say yes, and we will scoop you up and take you with us. So, and feel free to put in the chat that, yes, I want to go with you energetically. So there is a way that, because this is part of what I see a longer pilgrimage cycle that has been to Chartres for so many years, we're within this larger river of energy and intent, and that river is now going to a new location, going to Mexico. But whether or not you're going with us physically or energetically, I want to just share with you what the journey is going to be like. And I say that with a little giggle, because one of the things we've been talking with Eleonora and Giote and Bonafche about the need for flexibility. And that's something that whenever we do pilgrimage, whenever we visit spiritual sites, we can have, and this is really whenever we do ceremony, when we're in ritual and ceremony, when we're in prayer, where we're in those in-between worlds, we also have to have a level of surrender to listen to what's needed. And with this addition of the Kogi coming, and we just confirmed Friday that there'll be 2 of the Mamos that'll be coming with us, as well as their translator later, and Giote, that there's even more of a need for us to be flexible, to listen to the mother, to listen to the energies that are naturally arising from the place, that we're in co-creation. So I'll share what we think is going to happen. And we all know that we're in co-creation, that we're in ceremony. When we arrive in Mexico City, and again, the part of getting to a pilgrimage site, from the moment that I always believe the moment that you say yes, things start rearranging. And then when you start on the journey towards the airport or towards, wherever you're starting that pilgrimage from your home, to be really extra mindful of all the things, of your state, of what your intent is for this pilgrimage. It's really wonderful if you're able to, before you leave, to create more spaciousness in your life. One of the things I've noticed is sometimes, because we're taking time off, we get really, really busy right before we leave and try to shove everything in. And then sometimes people arrive completely exhausted and depleted. So I'll encourage you, if you're able, sometimes we're not able to, but if you're able, the last week before you leave for Mexico, and again, for those of you that are joining us energetically on the pilgrimage, start making more space in your life. Can you bring in more stillness? Can you eat more slowly? Can you go for walks? Can you start to get clear about what's your intent for this particular journey? What is it that you want? What transition are you in your life? And obviously, each of us individually is in our own personal transitions of what we're letting go of and what we're moving towards in our lives. And then we're also in this global planetary transition as well, around a mass extinction event, around global climate emergency. And so that we understand that there's this large desire for us to be in service to Mother Earth, to be in service to the planet, to feel our grief and our sense of love equally in relationship to the big picture, and to bring our body someplace where we can come together in ceremony and prayer and to listen to the earth. And that we want to hold both the personal journey, what we're in between in our lives, and the bigger journey of honoring that we're coming together with Indigenous peoples to do prayer and blessings and listen to the earth, that we're honoring that the earth is in big transformation and transition at this time as well. And how can we be in service to bringing more love, more presence, more grief to all of it? So we're going to be doing these 2 things. So as you journey, as you get on the plane, for some of you, you're coming early, you have long flights. For some of you, it's a little bit quicker, but use every moment of that moving towards the center. And I think about this as we're all coming into the heart. We're coming to Teotihuacan. We're coming to a power place. We're coming from all over the world. So tune in to the people that are moving towards this sacred space, and know that any irritation that arises, any obstacle that arises, any place where you're like, why is this happening? It's probably, there's something there to pay attention to listen to. Use everything on the pilgrimage as part of your pilgrimage. That's what I want to share with you, which is so beautiful for us to do. Then you're going to arrive in the Mexico City airport and you'll go through customs. Sometimes the customs line is incredibly long. Sometimes it's incredibly short. Welcome to Mexico. Things are different. So this is one thing, is that we're not in Europe. We're not in the United States. Mexico is its own culture. Things move in a very different way. And so it's really important when you get to the airport, in a way, put your Western mind down and you're like, things should be like work efficiently, because we're not in the land of efficiency anymore. When you land in Mexico, you're much more in a land of an indigenous mind that's, you know, obviously still has Western thought and ways of thinking, but there's a lot more patience that's needed. There's a lot more, it takes as long as it takes. There's a lot more relationality. So you can see that right when you get into the airport. Settle in. The journey has begun. It'll take as long as it takes to get through customs, and you don't need to fill out a form anymore. It's been all automated in a way. You'll come through customs and then land at the baggage claim. Grab your bags, easy. Then you're going to go through, I guess the first part's immigration, the second part is customs, where you'll either be, you're going to put your bags through the x-ray machine. You're going to be pulled aside for them to search your bags. Most of the time, they just let you go straight through. No worries. When you go, you're going to go all the way through. You'll come out and it'll be wonderful chaos. Welcome to Mexico. So there'll be a lot of people. And depending on which terminal you land in, there's two different terminals, Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. So make sure you check the email. You'll be getting an email from Serena or from Katie that says, here's where to go. But for both groups, there's a location for us to meet. There'll be somebody with a sign. Look around, find other people. And some of you will be getting in early, so you'll need to wait a little bit. And what you want to do is exchange money. And you need to go pee. And changing money, you can either do the exchange or bring an ATM card. I actually recommend just bring cash. It's a little bit easier, and do your exchange, not on the inside of the customs. You want to get through the doors, so you're out in the main lobby, and do it there. It's just a better exchange rate. There's a gazillion places to change money. One thing that you want to do is bring clean bills. So don't bring torn up $20 bills. Go to your bank, get clean bills. It just makes it easier. Okay. Count the money, like make sure you know what the exchange is and figure it out, because sometimes they won't give you the correct amount of money back. And the other thing that you want to do is ask for small change, which you'll rarely get, but still ask for it. Because a lot of times they'll give you the biggest bills, and we want smaller bills. If you bring an ATM card, that's fine. There's also places to exchange money through the ATM, so you can totally do that as well. Okay. You will be then brought in a bus or a van or a taxi. Yeah, $50 and $100 bills are okay for exchange. That's totally fine. Yeah, bring both. And then the ride to the airport is back to the Dreaming House, excuse me, is anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. And enjoy the journey, like on the way. One thing that I also encourage you to do is, it's going to be tempting to like check out, like get on your phone or talk to somebody, which you're completely welcome to do, and take a little bit of time to just look around and notice you're not in the United States anymore, and just feel the energy of this place, and let your mind shift into the energy that is Mexico City, and that is Mexico. So Mexico City is one of the biggest cities in the world. It's incredibly dynamic, and there's a lot going on. So it's only about 20 minutes to get to until you're out of the city. So just take some time to look around as you're driving through the city. And about 20 minutes out, you'll get then more into the country as you head towards the pyramids. And I love that some folks are coming early and that, yeah, there's going to be so much joy at seeing each other again. And for those of you that are brand new, if there are any of you that are brand new that haven't been to Chartres, there's just, you'll be welcomed in a really beautiful way into this particular journey. Because again, there's a lot of friends that are coming and connections that are happening. Yay, I love it. Yeah, this is a good time in the chat to share when you're flying in. And also remember, we have the WhatsApp group that is also a place where you can connect with people in that way. Great. Once you arrive at the Dreaming House, Alberto and Veronica will greet you, probably Katie and Serena as well, help you figure out where your room is, help you take your baggage. Some of us are staying at the Dreaming House, which is a large, it's where we'll be doing our teaching and the meals. And then some of us are staying off-site, close within the family. The family has different houses. So Carla, who's the youngest daughter, has a place. So some of us are staying at Carla's place. Some of us are staying at Camilo's place, which is, they're all like 5-minute walks from the Dreaming House. And we're going to be held within this incredible family. And family is so important in Mexico. There's still a lot of relationality. And so we get to go right into the heart of my beautiful, dear family, the Hernandez Contlas, and Alberto and Veronica, and you will see there's such a they're so excited to bring us into the family. And so please don't think of yourself as a tourist. Think of yourself as somebody who's coming to meet your family, your Mexican family, and coming home to a new way of being in relationship with each other and this incredible, powerful site of the pyramids. So the pyramids are about a 15-minute walk from where we're staying, but all of us, we're in the pyramid complex. The part that they put a wall around or put the gates around is just a really random place that they chose. We're in the energy of the pyramids. We're in the site. We're in the archaeological site where we are as well. And so one of the first things that we'll do when we arrive is we'll have a meal, we'll get settled, and then we'll have a meal, and then we'll do a grounding and a connecting to the land. And when we do that, I'll also call in everybody that couldn't join us physically, but wants to join us energetically. I'll invite everybody in to be part of the energy as well. And please know, those of you that are joining us energetically, I've been doing this particular journey for about 25 years now, and I've seen how people that choose to step into the journey but aren't there physically, you can have a lot start happening in your life and have visions and have insights. So if you can take some extra time over the week that we're down in Teotihuacan, and just know you're also on the journey, take some space, do artwork, journal, go for walks, consider that you're in pilgrimage space and sacred site space, and let yourself sink in as well. Yeah, absolutely, Raquel. Yeah, and for all of you that can't join us, we will definitely hold you in our hearts as well. So the rhythm of our days together, and again, this is what we have down on paper, and then we'll see what what wants to happen. But the rhythm of our days together is that we'll have a morning movement session with Banafshe, probably outside in the grass. There's a beautiful grassy area. We'll then have a short dreaming circle with Emily Greaves, who's my dear friend that lives in Teotihuacan, is an incredible artist. This family that we're staying with, they're all really remarkable artists. So Emily will be leading our dreaming circles, and perhaps sometimes me as well. Then we'll have breakfast, which is called desayuno. So desayuno happens from 8 to 9:30. That will be at the Dreaming House. And then we'll have our morning teaching sessions. And those are scheduled from 9:30 to 11:30. You will get a copy of this schedule, and we'll be writing it down every day. So just know that you don't have to remember any of this. We'll be navigating that when we get there. We'll then be going to the pyramids every day between noon and 2:30 to do ritual and ceremony. And we'll be going in together. There are, some of us will walk, some of us will can get bussed in. Alberto will drive us in. And we'll be doing ceremony every day. And the particular ceremony we're doing is an initiation ceremony to connect with the energy of Teotihuacan, to open ourselves, to be receptive, to shed and let go of what's not ours to carry, so that we can be a authentic reflection of the divine, that we can listen to our unique light, that we can be more in communion with the pyramids, with the rocks, with the ancestors, with our own hearts. So that will be every day from noon to 2:30. And all of these different things are optional. There's going to be a lot going on. And so we're going to ask you to also listen to your body and participate where you can and take care of yourself. Then we have comida, which is our lunch break at 3. So this is something different in Mexico. The way that Mexico, the food system, the food scheduling works is that there's a big breakfast, and then there's a long break until comida, which is another big meal at 3 o'clock. So we invite you to bring snacks. Okay, there are some snacks that you can buy there, but if you have nuts or something small that you want to carry with you into the pyramids, highly recommended. Bring snacks for yourself so that you have something to nourish yourself between. It's a big break between our 8 to 9:30 breakfast and our 3 o'clock lunch. Then we have a break. So then it's siesta, rest, go for a walk. You can walk down to the village. You can go back into the pyramids. You can rest your body. You can visit Alberto, has an amazing store for artwork. And that's something I'll just pop in here too, is that sometimes people ask how much money to bring. You don't need much money for your day-to-day, because we have you for the meals and the tickets. What you're going to need money for is for snacks, water, and then for gifts or art or things that you want to buy. And so just think about that when you're exchanging money. It's very, I won't say it that way. It's erratic around exchanging money once you get to the pyramid complex, because they have an ATM that usually doesn't work. Okay, so exchange as much money as you think you're going to need. And if you get too much, you can just change it back when you get back to the airport. So don't think, oh, well, I'll change it again. It's a little bit difficult to exchange money once we're there. It's possible, but it's a little bit more challenging. So think about beautiful artwork, big carvings, little, yummy tchotchkes. So there's all sorts of beautiful things to purchase at the pyramids and at the store. And that's where you're going to want to bring your money for. Then we have our final evening presentation from 6 to 9. And that will be a teaching session. And then we'll have what's called cena, which is our evening snack. So we get sent off to bed with a little snack, with like cookies or soup, and that's our place to integrate and talk with each other. It's really beautiful, and to talk with the family as well. So that's the rhythm of our days, is we'll have that particular schedule pretty much every day. There is drinking water. Bring a water bottle. Thanks, Yvonne. Great question. Drinking bottles recommended, because then you can go fill up. They have the pumpy things. My brain isn't big water jugs that we can refill. So we really recommend, so we don't use a lot of little plastic. Bring a jug so that you can refill your water. Is there a recommended amount to exchange, excluding artwork? Okay, so excluding artwork, I'd say you probably would need about $100 to $200, just depending. So you don't need that much money. Including artwork, I would say a couple hundred to $200 to $400, just depending. That's just really general. Can we pay with plastic? Most of the places in the pyramids don't accept credit cards. They're starting to, but again, it's very erratic. So better to have cash. The store, Alberto's store, can accept PayPal. They much prefer cash, but they can give you a PayPal link to pay as well. Yeah. Just think, like, not develop it's family, it's cash. Like much of it is a cash-based system. The ceremonies, most of them will be at the base of the pyramids. All the pyramids are closed now. We're working to see if we can work something out to do ceremony in different ways, but that is unknown at this point. So right now, what we know is that we will be doing ceremony with the pyramids, and that we are working to have extra special opportunities. I'll say it that way. I love it. Raquel says, I commit to send you conscious energy every day so that everything goes beautifully with your trip. Thank you. Good. Bring cash for art. Yes, I'm just going back through the questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat as well. What a profound moment in time for all who goes physically, bringing light and love energetically. Yeah, it's going to be such a remarkable journey with the beautiful layers of the incredible heart and movement practice that Banachet brings with the wisdom of Jim. And Jim, I cannot believe this is Jim's first time at Teotihuacan, and his deep love of the Toltec. I'm so excited to share this site with you, and the love that's there, and the energy and the transformation that happens, that initiation ceremony that I learned from Don Miguel Ruiz, and the honor of bringing you to touch this beautiful lineage of the Eagle Knight lineage through the Toltec, the family Alberto, Veronica, the Kogi, Eleonora, and Giote, and the incredible wisdom and depth of connection to the earth that they are bringing. Also to Mictlan Coatl, who is going to be coming and presenting to us, who's a really incredible artist and teacher of the Toltec ways. He's going to be talking about the importance of word numbers, the Toltec calendar, and bringing movement in as well as my dear friend Emily, who is an American who married into Alberto's family. She married Alberto and Veronica's oldest son. And so that family, and they now have a 15-year-old, so you'll get to meet them. And she's just an incredible visionary artist who has really brought back, one of the things that she has brought back is the symbology of Teotihuacan, and brought it through in her dreaming and visioning. So yeah, it's going to be quite a time, and that we're at solstice. Great. All right, I'm just scrolling all the way back because there was a question early on. I think there is a recording. Aw, thank you, Jerry. I hope to have you there as well. Ooh, Ada writes, you will be there for the full moon called the strawberry moon in some indigenous cultures. Nice. You're also going to get to meet the Mexica dancers, who are incredible and bring through that connection to the earth and the wisdom, indigenous wisdom there. All right. Liliana, are there fans or ACs in the room? There are not ACs, there are fans. Often it is cool at night. We're at altitude, and so it'll be hot, warm during the day, and often cool at night. So make sure that you bring layers, and they can bring fans into your room. And we also have heaters, because sometimes we need heaters there as well. Yeah. What do you mean the pyramids are closed? I thought there was a new space open. Just that to the public, people cannot climb the pyramids. So the actual pyramid structures, they are not allowing humans on them during the day right now. We're working to create some magic, but I'm not even going to talk about it because we'll see what happens. Is it humid there? Good question. I don't know. Look up I also really recommend everybody look up the weather, and what you want to look up is Teotihuacan. The biggest town next to us is San Juan, so you'll often see San Juan, Teotihuacan, and that'll give you a sense of the weather. Yeah. Good. Kate, definitely with us all energetically. Beautiful. Okay, I think that's it for the questions. Katie, good question. Do we need altitude pills, and will we acclimatize easily enough? You probably don't need altitude pills. We haven't had problems with it. It's not Peru. It's not as extreme as Peru is. We are at altitude, and you'll just notice it when you sing, when you climb stairs. And most of people acclimatize fairly quickly after 3 days. What we recommend is if you get a headache, is drink coffee. You might want to bring Tylenol or something. But most people don't have a big problem with it. Drink a lot of water. Don't drink alcohol on the plane. So if you know that you might have an issue with altitude, or you're not sure, huge recommended, don't drink alcohol on the plane or when you get to the airport. And it just makes a huge difference. Yeah, exactly. Good. Any other questions or shares? How are you feeling? For those of you that are coming, how are you feeling? You're feeling nervous? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling ready? For those of you that aren't coming, just know that we're going to continue to call you in. So get ready for a ride. Good. I'm getting excited too. It feels much more real now. Yeah.
Heather Ash, you say something more about the visit to the Guadalupe shrine.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, good. I love it. Yes. So I'm going to talk to Alberto today to see if we can make this work. So in Mexico City is the place where the manifestation or the apparition of who we call Our Lady, the Lady of Guadalupe, appeared, and it was on a sacred hill called Tepeyac. And that is a place where there's pilgrimage every year on her feast day, which is December 11th. And so we're going to see if we can create space to go in to see Guadalupe for a day. And we'll bring Emily as well, because Emily has this incredibly deep, honoring relationship with Guadalupe, and she has painted many, many murals of her. So it will be a trek. It'll be a pilgrimage for us, taking a bus and going into Mexico City specifically to see Guadalupe and then coming back out again. I know Katie had asked about visiting Frida Kahlo. For those of you that want to visit Frida's house, Frida and Diego's house, you'll need to either come early or stay late, and you need to get tickets. It's now, it's become so popular that you have to get a ticket to get in. So that's something you'll need to do on your own. And you can, a reminder to everyone that if you come early, you need, everybody is telling us so we can do transport. There's one transport. The transport is on let me go look really quick so I don't say the wrong thing. The transport is, you must arrive in Mexico City before 4 p.m. on Sunday, June 16th, and fly out of Mexico City Saturday, June 22nd after 4 p.m. If that's your travel schedule, you'll be part of the bus, and that's included in the cost of the journey. If you're outside of that window, you're going to be paying for your own transportation, but we will coordinate it. This is really important. Let us know so we can coordinate for you. And then you'll be paying them directly. You'll be paying the drivers directly. We want to make sure it's really safe, and we have drivers that are family and that are, part of the community, so that we can keep you safe. Frida's house is about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. It's in Coyoacán, on one of the outskirts of Mexico City. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, you should be fine then. For MM Loeb that just wrote that you arrive at 4, that's fine. And everybody's tracking, like we'll be tracking if your flights are delayed and stuff like that. And there's, 2,300 meters, thanks Gaia, at 7,500 feet. So it's high, but it's not extreme. Good. Any last minute changes, please let us know immediately. So we are very, very blessed. We have 2 what I call brains for this trip, Serena and Katie, and they are really hearts. We'll be fielding all the questions. We'll be doing all the organizing. Once we get to the site, Jim Bonafche and it's best not to ask us logistical, because we're not going to know. The people that you're going to be asking logistical questions are Serena and Katie. Yeah, Katie's a miracle worker, as is Serena. They are incredible. Katie's the best person for questions, and then Katie can go to Serena if there's something that she doesn't know. So we can go ahead and pop Katie's. Katie, can you put your email in just so anybody who has questions directly can go to you? And also, no, here's one last thing that I'll share and also open it up to any questions again, is that when we do something that's outside of our normal realm, so there's something that's different about Europe than Mexico. And I've been thinking about this and feeling into this. Is like there's a familiarity with Europe, and that like Mexico's its own thing. It's like a different animal. And so you may find yourself feeling nervous beforehand, or just around traveling, or just around going into the unknown, or excitement around being with the Kogi. Like, just pay attention, especially the week before the journey, to see what's happening inside of your being, and notice if you get nervous, or if you start feeling really buzzy. Like, just ground, like self-soothe. Let the energy build, and know that that energy is building because we're stepping into a big transformational process. Yes, there is Wi-Fi at the Dreaming House. It is sporadic because it's Mexico, so it's gotten better. But here's something that I really invite everybody to do, and I'll repeat this when we get to the Dreaming House and we have our first session, is that do your best to unplug from the rest of your world. Do your best to close at what you can, so that you don't have to be online. We have an incredibly precious opportunity to be in sacred space, to be with each other. And so, as much as possible, let your people know before you leave, I'm going to be not online for the next week, or I'm going to be sporadically online, so that you can really, really show up. And yes, there is Wi-Fi. Yeah. And there's Katie's email if anybody has questions that come up as well. Good. Any other questions or shares, Jim? And we can close out with a prayer.
Thank you, Heather Ash. That was beautiful and informative. I think you probably covered all the logistics we need to know. But as we've said, if you have any question, contact Katie Amra, and she will be able to field who you need to go to, whether it's Serena or me or whoever. And you're all welcome, obviously, as you always are, to contact me anytime, and I'll pass you on to Katie. And that's about, I think that should be about it. I just want to underscore two things, and then Heather Ash will provide closure. One is,
Yes, share another.
the Kogi coming is a unique and powerful addition to what we're going to do there. You know, the Teotihuacan is really the product of the Toltec and the Maya. And the Kogi were in Colombia, on the northern coast of Colombia. And their mamos are not just regular shamans. When they select a young boy or a young girl, sometime in infancy, you know, when they're small children, they put them in complete darkness for 9 years. I mean, everybody just take that in for a moment. Just imagine if when you were born, you didn't go to primary school, you didn't go to childcare, you didn't play in the dirt, you just were in a cave. And then if they're exceptionally gifted when they're 9 years old, they put them in for another 9 years. So these mamos who are coming have had a very unique experience in how to see the invisible realm. Many indigenous traditions, as we all know, have different techniques, but I have found the Kogi one of the most extraordinary and compelling. And that's why I took so seriously their prophecies, actually beginning in the early 1990s, when after 500 years of staying way up in the Sierra Madres. They came down to warn their little brothers, as they said, in a patriarchal culture, that they were destroying the world. And last December, they issued their final warning. So to be able to be at the Pyramid of the Sun is an extraordinary opportunity, I think, for a lifetime. And I just want to just say that so that we can reverence ourselves in all the ways that Heather Ashe is recommending, of creating space, creating intent, breaking out of the normal patterns. And the second thing I want to say is that because of the deep energetic nature of what we're going to go through, again, just to underscore what Heather Ashe is saying, when we arrive, it begins. And all the plans of mice and men will be shattered by the reality of the potency of the Kogi, of the pyramids, of the dreaming house, of the Toltec elders that Heather Ashe is bringing together. So we're going to be in a cauldron, everyone, of spiritual power at a critical moment in human history. So I would just urge everyone to take note of the schedule. Absolutely. We're going to try to use that as a framework. But as we go through the week, like we do every year in Chartres, things happen, things change. And it's our capacity, both as faculty, but also as community, to maintain adaptivity and resilience and going with the flow, that will ensure that when we leave on the Saturday, Sunday, we're as full of spirit as it's possible for us to be. And that leads me to really the final point. And that is that meaning is not something you discover. Meaning is that which you create. What you get out of a pilgrimage is not something that's handed to you while you're there. It's something that your heart receives because of the openness of your own soul. So the preparation of your soul is essential between now and when you arrive, to ensure that you and all of us form a collective container that can enable the spirit to work mightily within us and reverberate extensively out into the planetary etheric. So that's what I would say. Oh yeah, one other thing is that if you're not, I have found personally that when I have left Chartres on the Saturday, I feel torn from the womb. And so I always stay an extra couple of days. And what we tend to do is we have a dinner for everybody on the Saturday night who's staying. So for anyone, it'll cost you extra, but if you can afford it and want to, please know that staying an extra 24 hours does wonders for your psycho-emotional organism, your spiritual body, to assimilate everything that you've received before you hit the airport and re-enter the realm of time, space, and causality. So anyway, I just wanted to say that as a final note. Thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you in Teo. Now, Heather Ashe, why don't you give us a final blessing?
Thank you so much, Jim. If everyone can close your eyes and put both hands on your heart. And let's just start by feeling our gratitude for this container that we've created over the years, that Jim and Apila and Bonafche, and so many people that have come into the Chartres Academy and woven into now the Pyramid Academy have created over the years. And I just want to just send deep love to my beloveds Will and Judith that were part of the Pyramid Academy early on and part of Wisdom Graduate School. So with great honor of this container that's been created over the years, all the beings that have stepped into the pilgrimage, the sacred, the willingness to surrender and listen, that we honor this container and that we honor this virtual weaving over time and space. So feel your gratitude for any place where you've had a deep connection, a friendship, like find a physical time when you were connected to Chartres, to somebody else within this community, and just feel that yummy yes opening in your heart now. We are so blessed to have each other. And let's take this gratitude and this awe into our days as we move towards the summer solstice, that we may stay connected to our hearts and listen to the heartbeat of the earth. Listen to the mother on this Mother's Day. May we honor the mother of us all. May we walk lightly on her body. And may we know that we're not separate from her, that we are also a manifestation of the earth, that we are part and woven into every living and non-living being, that we are part of the rocks, that we are part of the sky, we are part of the ocean, that we are part of the four-leggeds and the winged ones. May we see all things as our mother. And may we also recognize that we are also the mother of all things. That we are also invited to bring our care and our love, our ferocity, our boundaries, our permissiveness, all of it into these times. And as we close, I invite the energy of Teotihuacan, the energy and wisdom of the Toltecs, the ancestors, the stones of that beautiful place, to whisper to us in our dreams, to remind us to come home to ourselves, and to listen deeply to how to be in these times. With so much gratitude. Blessed be. Thank you, dear ones.
Thank you, Heather Ash. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in less than a month at Teotihuacan.